Hello, my name is Gloria Carter, and I am a family and community health agent in Cameron County, Texas, with Prairie View A&M Cooperative Extension Program. Today's session will be on disaster preparedness and food safety. It's very important that we get ready, and so today's lesson is going to talk about how we can prepare for emergencies such as hurricanes, tornadoes, and any other type of natural disasters that may occur. Now, the first step in how to prepare is to plan. Plan how you will evacuate. What routes will you take? Do you follow the TxDOT, county, city emergency management websites and or social media pages? If you don't, now would be a good time for you to make sure you follow them. Another thing is your vehicle prepared? Does it have an adequate amount of fuel? Do you have cables? Do you have flashlights and first aid kits? Where will you go upon evacuation? Do you have family members or friends who could take you in? Also, it's important to keep an adequate amount of cash on hand in case you cannot use those credit or debit cards. Also included in your emergency plan is communication with your family's needs. Does anybody in the household have any disabilities? Do you need to make any out-of-state contact? Also include in your plan any medical supplies, such as medications, prescriptions, and refills, any special equipment, such as CPAP machines or oxygen machines, and again, any type of first aid kits that you may need. A great emergency plan starter can be found at ready.gov/plan. It's a great way to get you started with making that plan if you don't already have one. Now, your emergency plan also should contain important documents. Make sure you keep them in waterproof containers or waterproof envelopes or plastic baggies. Make sure they include personal documents, medical documents, and anything pertaining to the home as well. Also keep in mind in your plan having tools and safety type of measures on hand, such as matches, flashlights, protective gear, and hygiene essentials as well. Now, when it comes to your food, you want to be prepared for that as well. So take a pantry inventory or a freezer inventory. Make sure you have at least 3 days supplies of food and water. And that includes 2 gallons of water per day per person. Make sure you have plenty of non-perishable foods on hand. Go through your pantry, make sure that whatever is expired has been thrown out. Always put in the ones that will expire closer to you and the ones that have a further expiration date towards the back of your pantry. Also make sure you have plenty of food for any pets that you may have. It's important to keep them in mind as well. Now, after you return home after a storm or any type of emergency event, it's time to take that inventory again. And there's certain things that you must keep in mind. We must keep in mind that we need to keep our food safe in order to keep ourselves safe. The issue here is that foodborne illness costs the US about $15.6 billion a year. Now, each year, approximately 1 in 6 of us gets a foodborne illness. And depending upon your immune system and whether or not you're immunocompromised, the severity of that illness will also be different with each individual. Now, foodborne illness results in over 3,000 deaths each year. And a lot of those outbreaks do occur at restaurants, about 60% of them. However, that 40% would be, at home. So again, you want to assure yourself that the food that you have at home in your pantry, your refrigerator, and freezer is safe to eat. One of the things that you can do to reduce your risk of illness and to minimize food spoilage is by following the following guidelines. Keep a thermometer in your refrigerator and freezer. Your fridge temperature should be no higher than 40 degrees, and your freezer temperature should be under 0 degrees. A full freezer during times of this emergency, say you would lose electricity, a full freezer will hold food safely up to 48 hours. So that's up to 2 days, as long as you're not opening and closing the freezer door. So make sure that it remains closed, that it has a good seal on it. A refrigerator, however, will keep food cold up to 4 hours. So let's say that the electricity went out in your home and it has been 5 hours, then you've already gone past that threshold and your food most likely will not be safe to eat. But again, in your freezer, it could last up to the 2 days. Now, a cooler can also help you store food safely if the power is out more than 4 hours. What you can do is prepare by freezing containers of water to help keep food cold. Now, again, just remember to keep the doors closed to that freezer as well. When your power is finally restored, you can visit foodsafety.gov for guidelines on what food to keep. But something to keep in mind always is when in doubt, throw it out. Again, a refrigerator thermometer is a great tool to have. They are very economical. You can find them at most stores. Now, if your city or county calls for a boil water notice, what you want to do is hold that water for a rolling boil. So it's rolling, right, for about 1 minute to kill any organisms that may be in there. So just 1 minute at a rolling boil in order to make your water safe. For drinking, cooking, washing wounds, brushing your teeth, use bottled water, boiled water, or disinfectant water. So any of those three will work. Now, safe water, 7 to about 8 drops, and that's about approximately 1/8 of a teaspoon of bleach per gallon of water, will be used for disinfecting. So that's how you can disinfect your water, is by adding 7 to 8 drops of bleach per gallon of water. Okay, and that's just to be able to use for anything else in the household. Another thing you can do to remove odors that may have occurred in your fridge or freezer is to use activated charcoal, vinegar, and baking soda to remove those odors. Now, some foods to keep in mind to have on hand would be some shelf-stable meals. So having some freeze-dried banana chips, some fiber cereal, almond milk, and evaporated milk in a can are always good foods to have on hand. You could have peaches as well, or any type of fruit that's in a container. Trail mix is also a great type of food to have. It has different kinds of the food groups that will keep us safe and healthy during these times. And any kinds of nuts and seeds as well are always good to have on hand. Other things to have on hand would be tuna and peanut butter and crackers and saltines. What you can make with some of those items in your pantry, say for instance, you have a can of black beans and a can of corn, some corn tortillas and diced tomatoes, you can make a cowboy salad or a cowboy caviar type of meal, and that would be very good to have and very safe to have. You could also make a spinach bean pasta, would have your organic spaghetti and chicken broth, marinara, garbanzo beans, chicken breast. And of course, you could add different things such as the spinach and the diced tomatoes. And of course, add some spices to spice it up, bump that flavor up. Now, another thing to have on hand is make sure that you have, because if you don't have water, it'd be good to have some plates on hand, different types of roasting pans and disposable cutlery, right? And any type of gloves or oven mitts will help you handle that food as well. Now, I hope you enjoyed today's session and you learned a lot from today. Additional resources for you to visit would be the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Emergency Disaster Network, and you can see their website here on the screen. Another resource would be the National Weather Service, which is www.weather.gov. And also you can search your Cameron County Extension Office's Facebook pages, which is listed here on the screen as well. So thank you again for your time. Stay safe, right? Keep healthy, and we will see you next time. Bye.